Hello everyone, especially Matt, welcome in the chat, good to see you again. Just doing some art today, keeping it simple, though I gonna shut down that thing. Forgot to make sure this throwable stuff was working before I started, so I make sure. It's hitting a little low, one sec. Need to recalibrate, which means finding, where is it? There it is. Interact with that. A little more. Good enough. Now I should be hitting dead center in the face. But there we go. More than good enough. But yeah, well, we are doing some work on our vampiric-like space race, the Illithids. Specifically, a subrace of them that get away from the cultish culture the typical D&D Illithids grow up in. Eating the brains and elder brain leading them all, etc., etc. Which I've leaned more into the metaphor of making them literal cults, and this subrace, which becomes more squid-like, elongated brains, but also their tentacle beards kind of curl up and be more compact around the face to make them visually different. Because you know how it is, you leave a cult that wouldn't let you have anything except a nice clean shave on your face, and suddenly you feel tempted to just, grow it out as poofy as you can. But yeah, we're going to be using this pose. Two guys who... What was the story of that TikTok? I think it was the purple person filming it, like her and her girlfriend, was having their boyfriends read off the side effects of birth control or something like that. And they're both just like, good lord. And then this guy in the chair is like, listed one of the other guys like, what? I don't see that on here. No, they're different brands, guys. So he's like peering over and it's like, I saw that and it's like, what if this was a magic scroll? What if this traditionally wizardly casting type race was just reading this magic scroll, just one over the shoulders, like, they can do that? I thought it'd be funny. Also, it largely covers part of the beards, what with the foreground guy's head covering his, scroll covering theirs. Let's see. We'll do make sure. Yeah, blue over those browns should show up real good. Oh, okay. Let me bring the size down a bit more. Oh, don't scroll that way. Yeah, that's good. And then we change it to multiply low opacity, because then it'll just kind of like build up and get darker on those spots. Yes, perfect. I think we also need to make this lighter so it shows up better. Yep, there we go. That's how we will be doing sketching here. We'll start with the general head shape. Oh no. That's not working because of those dark colors. Okay, what if... Oh, I was also on the wrong layer. Oops. Let's make... No. Zoom back in. Oh, wait a second. Okay, yeah, it's just so dark because I was on the wrong layer. Got it. Whew. Solves all those problems, hit them up. But yeah, how you doing, Matt? Enjoying your weekend at all, now that Halloween has passed? Are you partaking, as so many people are, in National Cheap Chocolate Day? Only comes a few times a year, this time from Halloween. Is that too much? Might be too much. Let's see. Oh yeah, that looks better. Quite less pope levels of ridiculousness. This. Alright, good enough for these purposes. Now, I, for one, Still have most of a bag and a half of candy, because once again, no one came by at all. This neighborhood seems to be just completely devoid of trick-or-treaters since COVID hit. Which, I mean, not going to complain too much. I did get candy I especially like, but it does suck. Because my teeth are going to be suffering. Let's see, neck would be there, but it's going to be covered by beard stuff here. Shoulder, elbow. Looks weird, but not too weird. They are wizards after all, by and large, and I go always bulk by just big, droopy, wizard-like sleeves. I like that. Back of the neck. Torso will probably be out to here. No, because that's shoulder beak out here. To here's where his hand is. Big swoosh. Not there. Roughly. It's not perfect by any means, but it does more or less show where it is. Oh, wait, no. I can just bring it to there, because that's not important. It's hidden behind there. Oh, forgot that Avast needs to come down too. Yeah, I guess it doesn't work too much when I do it like that. What's fun? Go back to here. They should actually probably be more here, because I like holding the length of it, which means this would be a bit more angled. That's fine. But yeah, the lure of these space squids is that after breaking free of the conditioning of their cults, that they realize the errors of the ways and try to go cold turkey on eating brains and whatnot, at least of sentient beings, for their own safety, if nothing else. This will probably be more. No, that looks happy. I think that's good. There we go. Now they can have like little curly tentacle-like mustache here. Is shown a bit more of a curved look like that. And hard to do curves. Do that to show and scroll, yeah. But yeah, it's a they grew up a cult, literally being brainwashed by their elder brain. For those of you unfamiliar with D&D lore, a lot of the time, elder brains are eating the best and brightest of the mind flayers to get stronger. And that particular secret is kept from them until it's too late. Yeah, that looks good. So perhaps they find out that secret, perhaps they start to grow some remorse over the various crimes and enslavement that Illithids are known for. Grow conscience, which is not too out there. I mean, one of the hallmarks of wizardry seems to be having a familiar. And if they don't have like a demonic or angelic spirit trapped into that, it could be they figure out some sense of morality, something that actually has feelings and emotions and a soul that is their own. I'm sorry, this is the best shorthand I can do for curly beard. A lot of the hard work is when I go from sketch mode to the full detail vector image. So these little like half circles are best I can do right now. But yeah, it's if they manage to figure this out or feel that regret before being killed by their Elder Brain Overmind, absorbed to help hide the secret from the rest, they might become a Humboldt Illithid, part of it extending their headspace here, being less octopus and more squiddy, and also making their skin a lot paler. If anyone has seen a Humboldt squid, they're fucking horrifying. Heck, one of their nicknames from sailors are devil squids. They hunt in packs, and not small ones, like hundreds. No, thousands, more like. You fall into the ocean amongst a pack of Humboldt squids. You better be close enough to something to climb up, because yeah, those suckers are not letting you go. And I mean, like, literally the suckers on their tentacles, limbs, whatever you want to call them, will not let go. You will be bitten to death. We need a bit more point to this. And the major reason they get pale pinks rather than full-on white is twofold. One, D&D does have literal undead Illithid variety known as the Alhoon. I think lore-wise they're like some variant of vampire. But also, having a more conical head, I don't want them to look like, 24/7 clan members with a white cone. Hence, a very pale pink or purple. So they have some color in there, Now, these two guys here, I'm going to do blue and purple to help differentiate them when I go to the final version, which will not be today, just because it's a lot less interesting to watch. I think that's good. That almost looks like a philosopher thing, which is kind of what I'm going for, like the Grecian-style curly beards. That's what I'm drawing inspiration from. Because, they're enlightened Illithids now. They've learned morality, maybe not great morality. Morality nonetheless. Also giving them a bit more rounded, like, sacks for nose. Not like Squidward, but just like... I had to make this comparison, but I can't think of another movie portrayal of a character. But like Voldemort in the Harry Potter movies, where it's just like snake-like mound here, but it's got to be a mound because it is played by a human person. How to best do it? Maybe no. Maybe I should bring down. Oh, wrong thing. Bring down the size to 1 or 2. This one. It looks a little better. We'll leave it like that for now. Yeah, it's 5. This one looks a little gaunt, so we'll try and keep this one a little wider set. Thing is, we don't want it to look like a well-fed individual. It's like leaving the cult, trying to put their brain-eating ways behind them, these sentient brains. It's very much not going to help their complexion, hence why they're getting more pale pastel colors after the change. So we can do a kind of pronounced chin here. It's going to get covered by tentacles anyway later. See, this one, I think we're just going to have like short mustache like that instead of this curly style. There you go, yeah, because then will be this lip here. Sorry, for a second I was making sure I actually turn off background audio, because I'm kind of rocking to, if anyone's familiar with Snapcube's live fan dubs stuff, I know their Sonic ones got really popular. Currently listening to the opening they have for their Kingdom Hearts fan dub. They are releasing an episodal format, which is neat. But like, this theme song really kind of goes off, not gonna lie. They did not have to go this hard for a fan sub project. But they're getting better. I appreciate the hell out of them for, sharing this separate from the fan dub itself. I think these cheeks look more like jowls than actual cheeks, which is good. Let's see, they're not known for having hair, so we just kind of... No, it's coming out too wide. I think we have this come here, kind of have the neck hidden behind the beard, which is all we need because it's going to be largely hidden behind the front guy. This guy's going to be a bit more forward-facing, so we can actually show off the other side fin. Let's see, right at the brow line, up to most of the top. From here we can go. There we go. It's not a whole lot, but certainly some. Easier to determine, though we can have it come out here. I think this one we have just like big eye bags on. You know, like a university student who has stayed up multiple long nights studying for big final. See, this one, being in the background, can't really show the gills. We can here. Keep it in the purple so it's a little easier to notate that it's going to be separate from the beard, even though the lines are both the same area. Around like that. And for actual clothes, we'll do it in a kind of minty green. That for this. There we go. Oh, and a save. Because I realize I've not done that in a little bit. I'm thinking around the hour mark we'll do a quick break, maybe do some React content to help relax the wrist. For now, though, I think, just like my Lucy PNG, we're going to go for a hooded monk look for the outfit, because that's still pretty similar to a wizard. Wizards do a lot of research for their spells and whatnot, but also kind of bordering on cultish robes as well. And that's something we can bring out in the actual colors that we choose. And then the final piece I'll have like barrier around there where it starts fading out, like some of the actual D&D art is on the margins, because they don't want to take up too much room from the words. Yeah, Matt, if you're still here, I hope you are having a good one, just chilling. Let's see, yeah, none of those details matter because they're not going to be visible. Oh, but we can add some more to this. Let's switch to a pink for doing the clothes for a purple one. Because what if, on top of the, like, monk hood here, we can also add some to the organization by having his hand coming down there, which we actually need to get that purple back again. Do the hand first. Then we can just have the sleeve all just catching up on the wrist here. And the angle here would probably be changed some, like kind of bring it in on a version, but I'm trying to get the big motions out, the big details. I'm going to focus on the small ones later. Ooh, and actually we could have him also having a hand up top, like he's like trying to get a closer look. It's like, the fuck you mean, this weird detail you just found? So I said what I said, and I read what I read. No, it'd be on that side, because his arm would have to come around here. This will actually probably not even there. It'd probably be more that, because that'd be where the shoulder is roughly. We're not going to have him just go like big awkward angle like this. People will go bullshit. Though, if we went out like here, because that actually feels a lot more natural. Yeah, we'll do it like that, and then we can also have some sleeve up here for him. But yeah, most of him is going to be covered up by this part of the scroll, so that's fine. It's getting a little bit messy. But you know, that's what happens sometimes. So what we can do, make a big eraser, but do that so that some of those details are still there, they're still visible, but less so, because we don't need them for the final version. And then we can come back around here. Wait, we need to bring the eraser back up to full just in case. Oh, wrong thing. That's me and Cassie when I need size. Okay. Oh. Alright, tool. There we go. Gonna go over it in black. general outline, help us remember where we want things to be. When I do the final version, the first thing I'll have to do is the top and bottom of the scroll. Like, I could do the curvature of the sides later, but getting the top and bottom there set out, because I need to make the hands go around it in a believable way. Just have sleeve. Guidelines can just stay there, but yeah, that. Regrettably, they will not have much in the way of eyebrows. Unless I want to make part of their culture is like penciling on eyebrows. It's like, yes, I am John Hugh, man. You can trust me not to eat you or your children's brains in the middle of the night. Strange thing to say, Mr. Hugh, man. Well, sadly, it is a thing that must be said, due to accusations on this here space fleet we are in. Do not blame me, blame culture. Okay. Can we get some more correction on the hand here now? No, it's getting too muddy. We're going to have to remember that we're going to bring this hand down to shoulder like this. This here, we can... So we remember those are fingers here. I'm thinking in final version I'm also going to give them long, slender hands, as some of the older anime manga fans might be familiar with it, yaoi hands. Just because, one, funny to describe these former cultist Illithids as having yaoi hands in my book. It's going to give me many cause to giggle. And two, it'll help differentiate them from some of the other space races, which are more built for physical strength. I mean, if you're on a spaceship helping load cargo all the time, and that's a very common job for your race to have, it's like, yeah, you and your family are going to develop more muscles naturally, just because common roles on ships, your body's adapting. Oh. I need to have a little less pronounced nose here. Maybe just like this. Like that looks better, I think. Thing is, I still need to work on getting the tentacle facial hair to look like tentacle facial hair. That's the one thing I have had trouble with, though I have also not practiced as much as I should have. References, but I'm not alone on that. Yeah, that's good. Use beard there. I think the big thing is gonna have to end up being how I do the shine to help make it look right. Everything else is just gonna be distraction, sadly. You know, I'll do my best. Mostly erased, which is good. There you go, a bit more curve to it, gives a bit of a worrying look rather than a purely dark haunted or sleep deprived, rather. Maybe I should get just like some cheap macaroni type noodles, scatter them on a page. That might help me get some practice on how to make this curly beard look, at least in a simple version. Nope, wrong way. It'd be... Let's pretty sure it'd come up to there, then go like that. I think composition-wise, this is actually better to have some darkness in here, because if I do it mostly as shading, that helps. I want to avoid this pun, but it'll help color their response to whatever it is they're reading. A dark feeling that there might be either dark magic, hidden secrets of some sort hidden in this scroll. Which very much could be. Maybe it's the dark history of the Illithid homeworld, wherever it is hidden. Maybe this is how they find out the evils of the Elder Brains, and the true purpose of, quote-unquote, welcoming new minds in the fold is to feed them, not enlighten them, raise them up. Could be a very rapid shift, like maybe this guy down here will be closer to a normal Illithid color, and this guy is far further paled. Like they are aging decades in the span of moments. Well, it's a fun idea. This back a little bit, then down. Gills are next, so those will be hidden. I think that's as good as that sketch is going to get. Alright. Take a brief break from that. We're going to do some more beard practice, which I can do. Just a new layer. Excuse me. And do it over this. Let's see, start replicating that. Because this is the inspiration I'm using to try and get how the colors work. Because this is actual curly hair. Let's see for color. Yeah, let's do cyan. No. Do we're gonna make it just a bumpy beard here, and then we're gonna fill this in. Oh, to have that opacity back up. There we go. Alright, then we're going to come back in here and multiply. There we go. Okay, yep, that's just too strong multiply to start. Because we're going back and forth, yes. Just a little bit more, closer to 10. Actually, we'll be zoomed out to here. I think no, not there. We should have another curve like this, and then center to center like that. I think that's helping give it the kind of semi-randomness might expect from a curly beard. Because yeah, it's just a bunch of loops. Sorry, half loops. Partially interlocking. Enough that it's not too predictable. A little bit how they might say it in the biz, noise in there. That's too weird. Yeah, like that. Alright, I think I do. Let's get some depth. We go to another color like this blue. Yes, though, even more opacity. It's only darkening a little bit. That's actually coming out pretty dang good. It's not perfect, the curly look. It's giving me some ideas of how to kind of replicate this when I go to the vector version. In fact, I could probably give it a bit more body to the opacity. Yeah, the fact that going over it by hand another time is not perfect actually helps with the look of the shadows being created. My only concern is that some of these I might be going over multiple times and not noticing. Definitely over here. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to swap to a light only. Here we go, go to this pink. Yes, though we should bring size of the pen back down. Because we're just going to do, this is kind of like a highlight in here. Though actually, no, the pink's too much. Too much variety in colors. How about purple? That purple's too dark. What about this one? That's good. Just need to kind of keep it to the tops of this, because like I said, this is going to be our kind of like highlight layer. End of this pass with light pink, but we're gonna do mess these up. We're gonna do some blurring to help get the colors to blend together a bit more. We'll start with the filter tool that does it for us, just to see how it turns out. If that doesn't turn out too good, we will come back here with the actual blur tool, the smudge. Just a little bit of smudging. Oh wait, it just wasn't enough on there. that actually does not look bad for a beard. It doesn't. It can certainly look better. Even with just that little bit of opacity, it looks like a fuzzy beard with some of that chin line coming through. If you don't know how to do something, just go at it. Many times, get some practice in, see what happens to it, and you might find something that works. Okay. Focus blur. Let's try circular motion blur. Too much circular motion. But thankfully there's an option here to reduce the opacity of it, which pretty much means the blur effect is going to be overlaid separately, erasing some of the original, not fully showing it. Actually gets a good blur of the color. So if we come back and get that green again, no, not with that. Let's try and multiply again. If we come back here and we can redefine the kernels. The fact that we can't purely see what they were, that we have to kind of reinterpret it, works out just fine for us. Because even if we mess up, that only gives more definition to the fuzziness. Not bad for a just really bushy, curly beard. Definitely needs some work to look more like tentacles. I think we can do that with black. Oh, wrong tool. Right. Back up to full color. Go back to 1. I think what we do. So we can kind of have just things overlap. Hidden. Oh hey, welcome in 2006 MacBook. Good to see you, good to see you. Hope you are enjoying yourself as I do my best to figure out how to get the effect I want. Hope you are enjoying your Halloween candy or discount candy day candy if you yourself could no longer trick-or-treat. Shame how some rituals we must grow out of as we age, but it is what it is. Yeah, how you doing? What's up? So we do this, make it a bit more tentacle-like. That. This. It's all randomness right now. All random. But it's fine because this isn't final stage anyway. Oh wait, were you shoot. Person in Howie's server, I think it was in Howie's server, who shared some Bandcamp stuff. Yeah, it was very nice, and I think I said in there, acoustic stuff really isn't my jam, and that's in part because, like, for some reason, there are some notes that, no matter how good, whether it be like studio quality or just like busking, there's some notes that just screech in my ear, and I know it's a me thing because other people just don't seem to hear them. So I try and avoid it. So yeah, when I say when I say your music was really good for acoustic, I mean it. It means I was not hearing the just random static or whatever it is my ears are picking up. It's just really feeling relatable in these trying times. It's getting a bit busy. Move over to here. Kind of seeing these curves here. Go for like another one here. Kind of poking its head through from under. Do this and then another. Yeah, it's doing digital work without a stylus or pen of any sort. Is pretty much my jam. By jam, I mean I'm too poor to really do that. I'm sure I could create some stuff much better. But you know, that takes work and effort, and I've done this for long enough. And it'll look better once I get into Inkscape and do a vector version over this. This is just sketch layer. I don't have to worry too much. I'll take some of that pressure off of having to make it be perfect that I so often get trapped in. Because I know I'm not. Let's see. Because you use my software usually. Use hip hop and RP. It could be. Could be how you did the audio correction. But yeah, it's annoying because there are some good acoustic covers out there. They're good people who do acoustic covers like this. What is it? A group that I see a lot of Ren fairs called Orcs and Trolls, and it's like spelled in like Middle English style or whatever. And I love the covers they do, but when they do the recordings, because they do live recordings, it picks up some stuff. See, even when they bust out the old acoustic guitar, part of it's going to be the place of recording, some of it's just those sour notes, to my ears at least. Oh, you know them? Yeah, they're a fun group. It's nice singing along with them. I actually went to a Ren fair a couple weeks ago with them there, and I dressed up because I thought no one's gonna care. They were nice. They thought I was well, not a booth babe, but like the male equivalent of that for one of the booths helping to advertise. It's like, actually, no, I just like dressing up for this. They kept, like, twice they asked me, it's like, who are you advertising for out here today? It's like, no, I just like doing this. I'm like, damn, you put a lot of effort into this, man. It's like, hell yeah. Love to hear that. I am probably over designing this squid beard, but whatever. But yeah, I definitely if you keep creating music, and more so, you actually get some money off of creating music. Because I saw when you posted those links, I know there is Bandcamp because I bookmarked that. There's also SoundCloud and Spotify, and I know how great those two can be about actually paying artists that people listen to. But even if it's not something you're trying to do full time, it's nice if that stuff comes out with a profit for you every once in a while, right? Let's see. Let's acoustic, more experimental. There we go. Love to hear it. Love to hear people just mess around with stuff. I mean, heck, I've messed around with a bunch of stuff and come out with cool techniques that work for me that look very nice. I'm sure there's a bunch more ways to experiment with stuff musically than I can stumbled into via drawing. I look forward to hearing the results of that. Let's see. Here. Alright, now we're gonna go through these. It's not done. We're gonna just kind of like block out a bunch of these. It's like darker shaded areas. That's a bit too big. Leave that there and maybe do this one instead. Yeah, that looks better. Actually, no, we do... That gives the impression of curling. There. Alright, so you posted one of my songs you're more proud of the new album coming out is called Hotboxing Mom Appointment. That is a very evocative title. I'm sure it'll be nothing like what I'm imagining. But I'm familiar with the term of hotboxing, and some appointment with mom being mixed with that is a very strange mixture of concepts that very much would like to see how that might come out in the song or the lyrics. Let's see, probably do a little darker there. Yeah, this beard is gonna be an absolute mess. Oh, apartment. Okay. Very much less contrasting themes, but still very interesting sounding. Do that. Not great, but something for later at least. Alrighty. Okay. Just our shoulder stretches. Because like many digital artists, sometimes you end up putting too much pressure on your wrist or elbow. Gotta stretch out. What music do I usually listen to? Honestly, it's a bit of everything. It's probably easier to explain stuff I'm never interested in. That is Christian rock and gospel. I like there being some meaning to parse in lyrics. But if there's one artist that I like a majority of their stuff, like, I don't often go, it's like, man, I love this band, I'm going to end up listening to everything. But when I do, it is very rare. Not that one. Would be Unwoman, who does cello covers and original songs. Very much different than yours, but something about the deep, haunting tones of a cello doing things like Careless Whisper really changes how to interpret the lyrics and stuff, and I really enjoy being able to do that. Heck, I think we're going to do this next, but we're going to do some playing around with legs with this kind of design. But now's probably a good time to do a break, do some kind of like React type stuff. I can start by showing you one of her songs. Let's see, I just need to close GIMP. Okay, we don't need that tab. Now we can turn desktop audio back on. her back open. There we go. Yeah, sorry, this is current random stuff I don't want on my actual YouTube timeline recommended. Like Minecraft vids and some VTuber clip stuff, so I get a bunch of bullshit right now. Let's see. Joe, favorite classic ones? Yes, I was lucky enough to find her at a steampunk convention, actually. Let's see. Oh, right, I should mark time, because I will have to cut this out of the YouTube VOD for copyright safety. Currently at... we'll just say 56. But yeah, anyone watching YouTube, there's about to be a big time skip cut, so be prepared for missing out on that. I'm sorry. Okay, let's get our back up. Let's do some of our Mothtaur stuff. Because I want to replicate this leg. What was it? So I think it was Tower Farmer. It's a manual like that. But this just looked really good with this kind of like insect-like thing, because it's not like they have to be yeah, like a centaur but moth instead of horse. And also instead of like person head. So, because I'm doing let's see, yeah, that's layer. Doing a space campaign with a bunch of like fun races. Instead of just like normal centaurs, I'm gonna have insect-like one. So I have a. Oh yeah, I have a more completed one here. Which, oh, that reference is in the way. One sec. So instead of like front leg, sorry, another set of legs here, they only look like legs, but the design for it was maybe on this layer too. Show? Ah, there. Instead of being like actual legs, they only look like it, but they're just like like praying mantis blades that can just like quickly jump out and slash whoever's in front. But the whole posing of it, which I'm still kind of working for the vector art version, looks like a very queenly, or at least regal figure leaning back in a chair. With no actual arms, but is going to have kind of like wings, kind of like a mix of the Asar horseback warriors and like a throne. Which is the big hurdle I'm trying to work on for the vector art version of it. But it's actually coming out really well. I figured out not the color pads, the color gradients to actually make it look like a shiny insect chitin armor type thing, which I am proud of. But yeah, this one. I do have the arms figured out for this, but it's the legs for some of these insect ones that are a little tricky, because I don't want them all to be the same copy-paste design. So I think not layer mask. New layer, there we go. I need to make this. Guess. Perfect, just cut the size bigger. Did I make my PNG? Yes, I did. It actually is a similar process where I did like a basic sketch layer here in GIMP, something I can fully draw in. And then I took that sketch to Inkscape, which does vector images. You know, it's all calculating the shapes and whatnot, but it's more easy to scale it bigger or smaller without losing any of the graphical quality. I'm still working on another version, because I want the final to be sitting kind of like sideways in profile when not speaking, and then the head turns a 3/4 view when I am. And then when I switch that, it'll also be a version where it's like the head's a separate layer from the hood, which is separate from the torso, so I can have all those move a little independently for some more variety, more detail to it, which will be fun. But yeah, working in 3/4 a little rough. But it's very rewarding, and it gets me back into actually making stuff. Let's see. So, yeah, flip vertically. There you go. I'm going to start going back to the correct layer. The fur will be up to, say, here. We'll do the kind of like horse-like design where it goes forward to here, knee, and then back. Go like this, and we'll have these kind of splay out some. Which is very unlike how horses would be. I mean, they'll be in space. They need to be able to walk in a larger variety of spaces. We can have like kind of little tufts here. The actual like meat of it comes here and then out. Kind of Digimon coded, I suppose. Kind of lean into that. Let's see, fluff here. Yeah, if it does not show, I am very much more trained with traditional like art on paper and pencil or pen. So I still have the habits of like sketch layers than just doing elsewhere for the inking kind of equivalent. But you know, to each their own if it works for them. Let's see, I think for the front knee we'll take some inspiration from protogen type furry races. Something I actually learned from another regular on the channel, Barango, who is not here today. Make this kind of more hard-looking, even mechanical, perhaps. Mechanical and insect-like designs have a lot in common. Do the tuft here. And the way the legs is very breedable hip type design, which I'm not going to do all of them, but it should definitely be more, because horse-like posture, or at least centaur-like posture. I think keeping it more tubular instead of just the big, skinny, and then whoop! Someone else wants to hornify these Mothtaur designs. I mean, it's up to them. I don't want to see them, not because I'm against it, but it's like, I've already got so many ideas already. I don't need to be distracted by someone saying, hey, I made this but better. It's like, cool. Please do not credit me for that. I don't want people coming over here thinking I do horny art. Again, nothing against it, but I do try to stay mostly acceptable for all ages in terms of like visuals. See, I do some gory games sometimes, some horror games, and I do try to properly content warning that stuff. I want the sort of place where people can just like chill, listen to me poorly voice act occasionally, but nothing crazy. I'm liking that. That's not too bad. But for comparison's sake, let's try doing a different version. Here, what if we make the toe a lot bigger, go to here, and this come out more straight. We can make this whole thing more insect-like, not furry. Like that. Going with the kind of like beetle design I did elsewhere. There are very few areas that are like perfectly straight. There's a little bend to them. Let's see, speak on space. The problem with most sci-fi set in space, like why is most of their characters human? You're in space, give me a slime dude named Glorb and stop being the main character. It's just a straight white guy named Ethan or something. Yeah, I get that. And part of that's going to be holdover from Star Trek days, Whereas, like, even though they pushed the limits of diversity in characters and origins in television, they did need to still make it appealing to the people funding the projects, which I get. They also did not have much of a budget. Something that has changed in current iterations of those work. And I'm glad when I see, like, Star Trek Lower Decks getting some more diversity in it, showing off some of the more strange races. But it would be nice if more of them were less human-looking, for sure. See, I think we're actually doing it like this. Let's make this have, like, a little spur as well. A bit more threatening. That way... No, that's going too far. That... kind of looking a bit more rabbit-like, but that's fine. I think we'll actually accentuate this more... look more like a boot of some sort. Deep V, and then we can have some of this like hair-like fluff this side and this side. We should accentuate this kind of like sharpness by doing more angular. Yeah, like that. Curved enough they can't really hit themselves. I think if we're doing that far, we need to like bring this in some. More like that. That actually looks really good. Oh, forgot that to share sizes. There you go. Oh, no. This one I should actually curve out a little bit. Actually, we could probably make these less claw-like, because it does have this kind of like spur here. So these being actually less threatening would probably be good for the overall design. A bit more like dinosaur feet, for lack of a better way to describe it. Here, clean that up. Yeah, I always try and make two versions of anything I do, if only because it's hard to decide what's a good look if I don't have something to compare it to. If I'm doing something original, it's really hard to do that. Like, even if I'm just inspired by something to compare it that is not the original source, is still a good thing to do. That might be even something you do when you're creating music, actually. Test same technique multiple different ways, just to get a comparison's sake. See if you've got a good idea cooking, or if you still need some work done. Keep little cute tufts coming up around here. Bit here, like there's an implication that there's a joint. Definitely looks more militant, and this be all chitinous plates and overlapping segments, but fur on the base. Let's see, Star Wars. Why is every main character in the mainline series a human since the first movies? Chewbacca, which is barely a minor character, has been the last non-human main since the last main appearance in '99. Yeah, I absolutely get that. Now, I can't understand why they have less aliens like Chewbacca. Because unless you're going full CG route, you do need people to actually be in them. And, who was it? Was it Samoans? Do they have to get Samoans? Because they tend to be more, like, large on average comparison. But those are also, like, heavy, sweltering outfits. So it also limited what they could do with scenes. So, like, I get some of the very different races like that are a bit troubling, but I mean, fucking Doctor Who has done some incredible stuff. Like the cat nuns. I haven't actually seen that episode, but I've seen it as an example of non-human and humanoid races. But it's just like, if you can't go the full prosthetic outfit, figure out what parts of the body are important to physically show, and get the costume design to help cover up everything else. Just because islanders are bigger into nature, yeah. Yeah, and it's just their stature, how they kind of developed their environment or something. I can't reason why, and honestly don't want to, because it's going to border too much to eugenics for the sake of an art stream. But it's like, yeah, they were limited in their hiring choices. It would be cool if they actually had, like, subtitles for what Chewie was saying, though. That'd be cool. Because, like, clearly, Han could understand him. It'd be nice if the audience could, too. And hell, they don't even need to make it a proper language, because there's, like, a lot of growls and roars and stuff. Yeah, the recent ones being a lot more humans. It'd be nice if there was... I know they did it in the live-action Boba Fett... not Boba Fett, Mandalorian series. Where Ahsoka appeared live-action instead of just CG, which is great. It'd be cool if they could do some more... not outlandish, but very different humanoid designs, at least. Because there's some cosplayers who've done some great stuff mimicking the... whatever they're called, because they're not hair. I know they're supposed to be like flesh-y-esque parts of their body. It's like getting some variety would be real nice. I might actually use both of these. So I think in a tar design, it'd be really interesting if the back, quote-unquote, legs were thicker like this. Maybe implying that they're more of like a jumping species than a running one. Actually, wait, what do grasshopper legs look like? Legs. So they go back like that. They're skinnier. But it kind of looks like there's an extra joint in there. Let's go this image. That is something I can have just underneath the drawing frame. They tried to make Hondo, and then the main character, until they got pushed back because he's just to make. I mean, if you're gonna make a non-human main character, you should try to avoid a clear ethnic or cultural stereotype in general too. That should be even not just non-human, even human characters. Try to avoid that. It worked for Star Trek because part of the message was, it's like, hey, the Cold War is going on IRL right now, but in this massive utopian future, people don't have to worry about that anymore. They've come together. It's like those stereotypes there, that was fine because it is part of the message. If it's not part of a message, then you're just making a stereotype, dude. It's like, don't know what to tell you. Let's see, I think what we're gonna do... Oh wait, I can just see the box for this. I'm gonna keep both of these. We're going to shrink them so we have more space. Actually, this over there. For some reason, it's easier just drawing out to that area. Let's see, we'll mix some colors. Let's go back to the blue. Blue's nice and pleasing. Okay, we're gonna try one more of these legs. We're gonna go more proportions of grasshopper. We're gonna make this imaginary body, thorax, torso here. This may be appropriate, just needs to make sense for fitting into the segment here. Because for the insect-centaurs, I am having all the legs kind of center at this abdomen to waist link, which limits what I can do with them. Okay, let me break out purple for the actual drawing here. The way grasshoppers work is they're very almost shaped like a harp. Like they're wider at the base. They get thin at the end. Wait, actually, what I can do is a separate layer and make this curve like that. Duplicate it. Flip it horizontally. But no, not that one. Why did it flip the original too? What if I have to do this tool, perhaps? There we go. Okay. I could bring this to there. I'm going to rotate, bring the center to that. Ah, I see. I made it a bit too small. But that's actually kind of this. Nope, wrong side. Forgotten to move that. Like that, and then just resize this end point. Just merge down. Merge down. Okay, perfect. Yeah, it'd be nice if there was more, maybe not wholly original content, but at least like more original takes. Not just trying to make the safest possible work. It's like sometimes safe is good if it's, you know, being based off of something that was critically acclaimed and very well received. But if you're trying to continue a story, and the story you're basing it off, the story you are starting with keeps getting swapped between different creators, different directors, and whatnot, and you have to go for just the safest possible story, I mean, it's going to be dull as hell, man. It's why it was an indie film, but it's still a film recreating one of my favorite book series. Not the top, but one I enjoy rereading, even knowing all the twists. And that is Odd Thomas, which is a story about a fry cook who can see ghosts. The ghosts do not talk to him for some reason that he does not know. They're not allowed to speak. And he suspects it's because once you're dead, there's some knowledge you get to the universe. And those who do not pass on are not allowed to share it. He has a fun little ghost sidekick in the form of Elvis fucking Presley, which is awesome in the book. Though in the indie film, they couldn't actually get the rights to his likeness. The Presley estate is very, very stringent on that. Okay. So there are some things you just cannot do. I think him being the ghost of Elvis was toned the line. It said SpongeBob and the Hash-Slinging Slasher. What? Wait, in the CC captions, I missed. That's crazy, because I can't think of anything I said close enough to SpongeBob to get misinterpreted. That's hilarious, actually. Right, I was talking Odd Thomas. And, the story? Okay. Yeah, it's like, I think they did a very good adaptation. They are limited due to copyright stuff, which is fair. And even with the other changes they had to make to the story because of that change, it was still very well done. And I do recommend it, because it's not a happy story. It is what's the term, a thriller? Which is just like mystery. There's some big plot. Some of the spirits he can see, he avoids drawing the attention of, because he's pretty sure they're only attracted to death, destruction, violence, and whatnot. Because every time he sees them, something happens. And it's big. Yeah, and it's a very cathartic type of story for me, this one. It's like, even though I know how it ends in the big loss he accrues, he gets through it. And there's another 4 or 5 books, I'm blanking on them, that continue despite that grief. He keeps doing the right thing. I don't think he says the Spider-Man quote of "with great power comes great responsibility," but it's a very similar vibe, that he's got a responsibility to use the power to protect people, no matter how much tragedy he is forced to face in the meantime. In later books, there are some very tear-jerking but happy moments as well, when Elvis eventually manages to pass on. So when he's able to help a pregnant woman who's being beset by the violence-attracted spirits, waiting for something to happen to her. And one of the conceptually funnier books, despite how serious it is. So what is it, Brother Odd? It's like the 3rd book in the series. He's recovering from the tragedy of the 1st book, and he was starting to break emotionally in the 2nd. He went off to a monastery that allowed visitors to stay long term, trying to find a source of comfort anywhere. Took him away from the city, from people who recognized him for what he's done, and it felt like tragedy was following him yet again, because those violence-loving spirits were back, and it's not something I could really explain with the story, but I think it did really well. I only regret that because the series could not have Elvis, some of the better scenes from that book could never possibly see the light of day, even if the little indie film group that made the first one got permission. It's sad, but I can't remember, how did we start this? How did we get here? Right, we were talking about how so many sci-fi space things don't have nearly enough non-humans, which they should. Diversity of cast gives a broader variety of stories you can tell with said cast. And, they certainly need to work harder. Yeah, it's I'm not super liking this variety. It might grow on me, though. What was that book series called? The first one is called Odd Thomas, and that's the one that got made into a movie. There might be a rip of it online if you want to check it out before buying or getting books from a library, but I think in the thriller genre it is very well made, because while his ability to see ghosts and interact with them is important, it's not the main core of the book. It's how he reacts to the tragedies and the obstacles he has to overcome which is why I say thriller instead of a supernatural mystery type shit. Who was it? I don't trust captions that spelled correctly, but that's the author, Dean Koontz. Koontz. I have difficulty pronouncing TZ combo like that. But that's the author. He's done some other good stuff. But yeah, just in case there's another Odd Thomas related book, that would should hopefully steer you. But yeah, this grasshopper type leg arrangement doesn't speak to me. Maybe if I did a more detailed version of these, but I think a version of the back leg being biggest for leaping does lend itself to doing a, let's do a copy paste version. Actually, we'll start with this one. Cut, paste it, put it as another different layer. So then we can take this layer and transform, flip. Oh, is it? It did not? Oh, it's because, gotcha. I copied from the wrong one. That would certainly help. But wait, if I can move this forward like that, yeah. Cut, paste, keep it separate. Layer, flip. I think I need to skew this a little just so, sorry, shear, it's called shear in this program. That. Another one there. Keep it close enough. Rearrange windows. Really should have made this less wide. Let's see, do it like that. This transformation will move down. Here. Layer, crop to content, there we go. We do a shear here to put forward like that. Duplicate it and do another one like this, and a scale. Like that, just stretch it forward like that. For one-sided legs, that's actually, I actually do that, like that arrangement. That's pretty rad. A variety you put out seem like your favorite color is grayish blue. I appreciate that. It is unfortunately incorrect, but that's because my favorite color is pink, because my birthday is near Valentine's Day. So every time I see a bunch of like pink decorations and stuff going up, I know, oh, my birthday's nearby, yay! It's all subtle, subconscious, but it's just like, before I actively notice, my mind will pick it up. It's like, man, I suddenly feel real chipper. Why is that? Perhaps a dumb reason for the favorite color, but I mean, is there any incredible reason for having a favorite color, really? It's just what your body do sometimes. Yeah, I do try to be a bit calm, sort of entertainment, which I can see why grayish blue would lend itself there as an assumption. So absolutely no hard feelings about that. I get it. Okay, let's see. What if we do a shear here? I think that was good, because then we can have like we're just going to merge these down. Well, we'll merge those two down like that. On this layer, do it like there, because that's the joint for here. Another one here, and there, kind of hidden beneath the fur. gesture toward pink because parents want you to wear and love pink as a child, and you took that personally. That is also very fair. And I mean, and it might be for me, the ability to love and enjoy it was also a little bit of spite, being, raised as a second born in the family. So certainly some assumptions of, being more masculine. It's like, yeah, but my favorite color is pink, so fuck that. Shit happens. Sometimes parents just don't get to dictate stuff for us. Ah, shit, I just realized. I forgot to mark down the time for the end of us watching YouTube videos, so I'm gonna have to look for that. Oh well. Yeah, we made some great progress on those legs. Some experimentation with freaking the grasshopper style. Name that layer. Grasshopper, okay. Let's try doing some more detailed version of these front legs. Which I think... Okay, that's right layer. Move it up to there. Then we'll do some styles down here. Yeah, because we don't need to do a description of the head. We do need to fix where the layer is, so crop to content, then fit to image. There we go. Fixes that. So, grasshopper, these front legs tend to be like a version like this, with 2 segments. We'll make this a ball type joint. Goes a slight curve like this. Hair color is dark gray. That is a very nice color. And it can definitely be described as a professional color in a way that you could make a lot of outfits with it. It's a good neutral, I feel. Because stark black, I mean, unless you have a very nice bright color contrast in it, it doesn't quite look quite as good, but a dark gray, you get a lot more options. From a color theory angle, at least. So I say you have good taste. Let's see what we do. Let's see. Yeah, how do you feel, let's see, with dark gray as a favorite color, how do you feel about pinstripe suits? They yay, nay, too professional for you? I think they are very snazzy and probably the best way to wear dark gray, because you can have a nice glittery metallic for the actual pinstripe color. Let's see, there looks like this. It's usually 2 claw look. Put it to mute so I can cough. Go. So I think doing it for an actual centaurid, I should readjust these some. I like them, yes, but you wear them, no. I mean, very fair, but I mean, aesthetically, I do think it's one of the better outfits to have a dark gray to it. For some reasons of that color theory and being able to match them with a wider, broad spectrum of colors. Because a solid dark gray suit, it feels unprofessional to do anything but a just color as the tie. But a pinstripe, you can get a bit more snazzy with a colored button-up without feeling like it detracts from anything. So we're gonna make. Actually, no, we'll take some inspiration from this leg and make spice segments here. Not very big and corporate. Oh yeah, no, I get that. I mean, dark gray is also really good for the an undershirt layer, and then you can wear like an open button-up over it for your color. Because dark gray is, like I said earlier, a very good neutral to have. It doesn't really lock you into a particular color palette the way a pure black does. And heck, you can have a palette of just various dark grays. And it does not look as bad as various varieties, for lack of a better term to follow it up with, of blacks. It looks bad. Like you did not properly color check your blacks. Let's see. Those look too long. Let's shorten those there. Yeah. That looks good. Oh, wait a second. I know how to do that. 1 second. I need to. Just from there. Here's where I'm going to take some more from that kind of moth inspiration of fuzziness. Like a Clydesdale horse. Where they're just really poofy sock looking fur design right above the hoof. That looks adorable. It also means we can justify making this a bit thicker. Also a dark color. Then because we're going kind of alien design, we can have this be, let's see, let's show it in a different color. Oh wow, let's save actually, because I forgot if I did that recently. Let's make them blade like that. Oh. Still alien, still insect-like. Also very much not obvious horse. A lot of dark gray clothes, because you put them on for almost... Yeah, not as overused as black. Heck, I am currently, to help stay warm in home, wearing sweats and sweatpants, both dark grays, both very different dark grays in fact. One's a bit more blue while the other's a little closer to black. But no one's going to question me for going out in this outfit. Because it's like, they're two different dark grays, it's fine. A solid black with a dark gray, however, that same issue of just various blacks as a palette does not look great unless the whole thing is black and white. Color theory is fucking weird, but unfortunately you can't fight it too much. Let's see, we're coming up the end. Let's see. I think we'll take a break from doing legs for a bit. We're going to go to this other moth design I'm doing. We're just going to be a bit more lunar moth, but in the head. Because that other one is more insect one. Look at, thank you. I really appreciate that. See, this one, we're going to go back to this green, because the lunar moth. I'm going to do closer to a more human-like face for this one, just because I want to incorporate the lunar moth type wings as like these, they're not bangs. The hair that just comes down the side of the face like that. So, let's see, we're going to start with kind of like egg, because it's still going to be partially insect. Alright, I forgot to keep that window open. Okay. Yes. Just because they have a very minor design, but it still marks them as a lunar wing. This goes and swoop it out like this. That's a bit too big, actually. Let's try ending it there, so I don't have to recreate quite as much. There we go. Then I can have another layer come out like that. There we go. Yes, that's exactly what I was trying to do. That is beautiful. And then I can have this kind of like... Oh, actually, no. I should do this in the purple. It is naturally what they are. So we still have kind of like the false eye design on them. Just do this on the undersides of them. Just like the actual... I'll bring this one in a bit more. Actually, we'll stay with this color for eye. Maybe I do more of a compound almond type eye for this one. It's regal, kind of feminine. Bring the size on this one down. And kind of do like a reverse winged eyeliner underneath. Kind of following the shape of these hair layers, and do this kind of low. Probably look better thinner, but it's fine. Then we have the other one come up here, like that. The question is, what should I do for mouth for this one? Let's see, what do moth faces tend to look like? Because the other one I do have kind of like false swirly mustache for a more gentlemanly look. Let's see, big eyes, we're not doing those though. Ooh. Actually, that's a very fluffy look moth. Ooh, what about kind of like continuing this regal-esque design? Let's swap to a blue to help differentiate this. We could just do like this, like almost like a scarf. Very demure, very regal coated still. That looks really good. Not gonna lie, I'm liking how this one's turning out. This, so I remember that's not actually visible. Alright. Blue, and we'll go back to thinner lines. Kind of like segmented insect-like face. Thinner there. I think doing anything on the forehead would make it a bit more masculine feminine actually, but I think we can do thinner here. Just so it's less pronounced and nose-like. More of a hint of something. Then we focus most of the details beyond the actual wing segments, which I'll have to do as separate layers, because I think leaving them partially translucent is really going to help with a lunar moth. Oh yeah, that's got to be the quickest face I've done for this line of space races I have. Absolutely. It's kind of thin, veiny, coming from where it connects here, though. Almost like a leaf. I can even add some more swirls, give it more of a feminine look to them. There we go. That actually looking fantastic. Yeah, that makes it look more dark and evil. Yeah, no, we'll do that. Yeah, I'm really liking that. It turned out a lot better than I was expecting to. And because they're not actual wings, I could even go for another layer here, perhaps. It's kind of looking similar to like a bob cut, perhaps. Then I come back out here with pink to outline this side. Oh yeah. She is looking beautiful. Okay, now let's try... Let's try doing another from the front view. Once again, need a kind of general look. Actually, no, I think that's fine. We're going to do this. Oh, right. In the background, I have just a texture. Just so it feels more like I'm working on a canvas. In case anyone was worried that was a visual glitch of some sort. It's so easy for me to get that it's not actually there. Let's see, transform like that. Alright, we're going to start the pink that becomes kind of eyes here first. Now that doesn't look right for that angle. That looks good. There we go. Said something, didn't even notice it was there. Oh, good. Just because I know I'd been working at it at this level at some point. I know the quality of stream is probably not easy to tell, but now that I was working in close again, I was like, I should make sure no one's like, hey, what's going on there? What's this Lucy fella doing that looks so strange? I think actually, do I like feathery? Nah. No, we'll leave it like that. Okay, but again, we're going to work here because we're trying to have just like framing of the face like that. We'll probably go a little further. Yes. Be only a little bit here because of how thin they're supposed to be. There you go. And that almost looks like there's supposed to be a ponytail or something in the back. There's also a very cutesy hairstyle for have this regal, almost princess-like. Let's see. Do that. Let's see. Perhaps move this up a little higher. I think maybe poof up more here at the center and taper it in more. Look better like hair. Like that. Right, back to this poofy blue, which will not be something we something we copy and flip over for the other side. Just kind of like freehand it. be a slight line here where it becomes this kind of like curve. No. There we go, like that. Yeah, and then this line here kind of helps give the insinuations a thinner face. Even though there's going to be more here, not colored the same as the hair, still have that same effect. Let's see. Yeah, we'll do it like this, almost like a hint of eyebrows, even though they don't have any. That looks good. Alright, now just doing a trick on my monitor, I'm just like covering up half the face. It's like, yeah, that was good. Now it's just time for the flip test. Start with the hole. Says Shift F for flip, yes. Seems perfect, but I think it might be because I have that part of the face rounding deleted. Select none. Select my color. Let's get rid. There we go. That should be enough for copying the rest of the paint, then just that, because we already have the face down below. Okay. Copy, paste, layer, flip, there we go. That's good. That's looking fantastic. Let's see, from this angle it makes her look a little older, but I'm also noticing that I don't have the scarf as wide. Good thing to notice now. Spiky, but that's fine. Still not the vector image stage, so we can definitely ignore that. I think overall, though, I think to help make it look thinner, I can just take the whole thing and do the scale. Yeah, have it unlinked, like this, perhaps. Certainly helps a little bit. I think it might be these. I think these are too obvious in general. They might need to be fainter, even a different color. Otherwise, they kind of look like age lines. I guess it needs to be blank if I want it to look younger. I think these still help with the illusion of like the younger, thinner face. Oh, I forgot one of the culture important bits of this space race is body modification, especially jewelry or scarification. So what if I don't have yellow on the quick thing? Gonna have to create one. It's been too green. There we go. What if they have like the hint of a bar piercing, or whatever it's called. Okay, asymmetric. Wait, no, red. Red would be so much better. Because the green and the purple makes a better color palette. Okay. Color, hue chroma. It's gonna look too pink. That goes purple though. Yes, a darker red because it's a lighter green. And then also come back here with the black. Now we got a simple ladybug design piercing, which is a little cutesy. A little too sharp for this. Let's we're gonna have to leave it like that until we get to vector stage, I guess. Alright. Oh boy. Yeah, I forgot to stretch during the little react break. Okay. Oh boy, knees are not happy about waiting that long, but okay. I'm doing it now, buddy. Doing it now. Roll it out. Yeah, we've got some fantastic progress today. Certainly more than some of the other art streams I've done. Got this beautiful cutesy moth design, especially from the side. Loving how this turned out. We got all these leg stuff done. I don't need that. Let's do. Got this. This might be the next design I take to the vector stage, just because I like where I'm going with it. I don't want to lose that progress. But that'll be after stream, because vector art takes a lot more time to do. It's a lot easier to make it clean, but it takes more time to do per step. Just because that is a very much robust art program I have to use. Oh yeah, I forgot some of the inspiration for some of these the directions and aesthetic. Crunk, Emperor's New Groove, because very top-heavy, buff, triangular torso type design. Hipster fashion, which that's question mark just because I don't know what is hipster fashion, but it feels like it's going to be diverse enough that I have a lot to draw from. And also the romance Fabio book cover designs. Again, kind of going into the crunk, top-heavy triangular torso. Yeah, those are my insect-type race, which is going to be very diverse. Other one, let's see, we also did work on the Humboldt Illithids, our little squid face. Oh, right, I deleted the sketch for those because I already moved them to vector stage. What else do I have in here? Bionoids, which are kind of like Super Sentai Power Ranger types. But it's like a magically induced transformation rather than tech-based. Let's see. Thrycrane, I haven't started yet, that's just references, and Spirit War is just same. I guess I have enough time I can at least move over to the vector stuff and show off those, but I think I'm done for actually drawing anything new today. So let's leave that open for next time I come back to it. Alright, where is... there's Inkscape. Yeah, a little show off. We'll probably end a couple of minutes early just to raid out. Feel that energy going. I should probably make dinner soon if I'm already feeling like this. Come on, Inkscape. I know you can fucking... Yeah, Inkscape is robust enough that it takes a lot longer for me to start. Okay. Okay, there. That's right. It's this one. Yeah, I've got the penguin ones finished, or at least as far as the bodies go, finished. I need to make more clothes for the for this one. I'm blanking on it. It's erect crested. That's right. But yeah, for this space race, they're pretty much just penguins. Straight up penguins. Their flippers do have some segments for simple fingers. Not enough to grasp a doorknob easily, but manipulate and find tools. They also have this very expensive gemstone kind of embedded into their throat, up torso type regions. They're psychic, so they can communicate with every other race psychically, which is fun. And I'm loving how I got the detail on this this sweater out, because at a distance it definitely looks like the fuzzy, not stitch, woven texture of sweaters. I feel very proud of that. What else do I have in here? I have... Oh, right, I have some of the... Oh, clicked the wrong one. There you go. I've started on the vector for flying squirrel type humanoids, which have this kind of like loose, drapey skin that they can pull tight to glide. I really need to finish this one, yeah. But yeah, if you're unfamiliar with D&D and haven't caught the previous streams where I explained it, this is a reimagining of the Hadozi from the Spelljammer station setting, who were originally more primate. They look like monkeys with these kind of arm flaps so they can glide. And recently they had their lore changed to be very much more racist. There was originally no lore that had their past history and origin of formerly being a common slave race that was uplifted. But 5e decided to change that. I'm like, I'm going to fix that. They're squirrels now. They're flying squirrels. There's no fucking slave backstory. It's, that one's definitely looking a lot better than I have for the Sugar Glider version so far. I did like how the face turned out in the sketch version, but the vector, it's not speaking to me as much. What else do I have? Oh, right, I have the more complete Emerald Wasp. I feel like I'm fucking getting the hell out of this pose. Just the amount of, like, cunty queen energy is great. I do plan on changing the face to be more proto-gen, a screen type dealy. Just I haven't gotten to it yet. What else? Do I have anything else done, actually? Oh, right, I just have one of the fancy coins for the space currency I have. Which will change on the various planets, but like this one, the quote-unquote accepted everywhere type, because platinum's expensive. And then my Bionoid completed punk, like full-on spikes on the jacket collar punk, dragging this big axe with strings, just because it seems like the sort of like fun, whimsical design you would find on a Sentai weapon that is not actually doing anything in combat. I also like how I did the shine on the boots, though. Like that was an accident I found, and it's like, you know what? We're keeping it. Yeah. Yeah, I do still need to work on, you know, kind of like dread-like design with these, not terminal chords, but like, you know how like seeing a server room or something, like images, there's like bundles of chords zip tied together. I was trying to go for that. It looks good, it just doesn't look as much like Dreads as I was going for. Which is fine. The gold one, though, the gold one feels like a quintessential bad guy who turns to the good side, like, late in the season. Especially because the real eyes are up here, but having this kind of, like, obscured visor and these, like, designs on the cheeks make it look almost like samurai-esque, perpetual scowl. Zoomed out, paying attention to little details, it's like, oh no, actually, it's the dude's up here. Oh, that's great. Making art's fun. Even if I'm not very good at it, I have the willingness to go through, put the elbow grease to make it shine, sometimes literally. Let's see, I should leave this on... Yeah, the Humboldt one here. Because yeah, I was trying to do straight from the vector one, but it's not looking great. I went back into the sketch for this. Yeah, we'll leave it on that so I remember to do it next time. In here, let's go to the BRB screen and find someone to write into. Where is... There. All right. Who's currently on? Do we have another art person we can read into? Because that's what I like to do when I do art screens. Sorry, streams. Go from art to art. Special film. Oh, no, that's for face cam. But all right, I guess we are going to look for anyone who's currently arting it up. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. Whether you're lurking or participating in conversation, it has been very nice. I really need to get back into art streams. I had to stop for a bit because of the charity event and life changes. But it is nice to give me a little kick in the ass to actually create stuff. So do you have any smaller artists here? Someone with a sub 100. Ooh, here we go. So one of the tabs I'm seeing is LGBTQIA safe space, and I love they've got all the letters in there. Let's do a little peek in. Okay, yep, they've been going for only 30 minutes, so we caught him early. Yeah, let's raid over to Yune. Let's make sure that... Yep, raid is allowed. So as always, my wonderful tome readers, thank you very much for joining me today. As always, I hope you are eating enough, drinking enough, getting enough sleep. Take care of your body so your body can take care of you, especially with how rough things are nowadays for any of us living in the States. Even if you yourself are not queer, even if you yourself do not have friends who are suffering, I'm sure for some of us it is very scary with the slippery slope that may come, but stay strong, stay confident. Together we can get through this. I believe the U.S. can still come back. And if nothing else, hope is free. But yeah, I'll see you guys around very, very soon. Goodbye.